And we're live and we're back. And it's Sidejag, the show where we talk about movies, food, entertainment, and whatever else is on our mind because it's what it is, a Sidejag. But welcome back. It's been a minute or two or three. How you doing?
Been a while, man. I'm fighting a sneeze. You ever had
Let it
that
go.
film? It,
Let it go.
but it's not. It's like it's not. I can't get the release of the sneeze, but it's
Ah,
there. The itch is there.
that's the worst.
It is the worst.
That is the worst. It's like, yeah, you need the sneeze.
Yeah, you need the release of the sneeze, but it's not happening.
Yeah, that totally sucks. I've been there. So what's new and exciting? What have you been watching?
Man, should we get into it or should we talk about? Should we do more cruise talk?
I mean, I figure we're just gonna cruise and we'll do some cruise talk as we talk about like what we've caught up on because I had a lot of time to watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I haven't
And
wrote down everything I watched, just what I could remember before the show. You know how we do. We don't keep
yeah,
track of it
yeah,
as
I
like
totally,
we should.
yeah, I know. I was thinking as it was funny
Yeah.
because I was like, why did I delete everything that I watched? I'm gonna need to know it to talk
Like
about it.
10 minutes before the show, it's like, oh, maybe I should think about what I watched.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. But
Um,
I don't know if you watch it, but did you ever get into Black Mirror?
no,
So it's like kind of like a alternate techno reality, like kind of the horrible things that can happen from technology, basically.
okay,
And they had a new season, which it's been like 4 years since last season. So I
okay,
watched that. They had there's some really crazy, man, especially the first season is pretty intense. And that it was a British show. They adapted it from a British show put on Netflix. Is that if you got time, it's worth checking out at least the first episode to see what you think about it. But
okay,
it's they have like one of them's like a social ranking system, so it's like social media, right? Like
okay,
kinda like you know how China does.
right.
And then the social ranking system, people could tell on each other and all this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they just like play that out to the full extent. How would this world be if you really had this? And what problems would people face if you had this? Another episode was they had a guy or people had chips in their eyes that recorded every memory you ever had. So like the guy goes
Okay.
home, gets in a fight with his wife, she brings up something from 8 years ago, plays it back
Oh,
exactly how it went down. And then they show like all the terrible things that could happen. It's not very like it's all
that's
the
kind of, it
worst.
honestly sounds like an episode of Star Trek that I've seen.
It probably is kind of like that. And then there's the first episode's pretty hard. It's actually pretty hardcore. So that'll tell whether you want to continue on and watch it or not. I don't even want to spoil none of it,
Wow.
just in case you do end up liking the show. But the current one they do in the later seasons. Once it's on Netflix, you get more big time guests. Like Selma Hayek was on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, the guy from the nerd from the road trip nerd, the guy from the movie Road Trip,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and they have quite a few stars in it in
Hmm,
this last season. So I watched all that,
nice. I mean,
and I got a bunch more, but I'm gonna let
yeah.
you pick one.
So the series I watched was on Hulu. It was called Class of '09. It was a movie about the FBI. It was a show. It was an 8-part mini series about the FBI, and I didn't think I was gonna like it at first. But what they did is they jumped through time. So they had 3 time periods, and they followed like 4 or 5 people and the relationship that these people had. So it started like when they were at uh, this Quantico together in the beginning. So their first days, how they met each other, and then it was like modern time, and then it was future time.
Yeah,
And it just followed these people, and it was totally not believable. Like it was like it went sideways so fast. Casey's in the house. What's up? Um, and it was weird. So that was like the beginning of my vacation. I sat in the I think I watched that in Vancouver.
yeah,
Because the like okay, so hotel talk. We stayed in 4 different hotels along with the ship. and the hotel we stayed at in Vancouver was the Pan American, which is right at the port. So it's the Port Hotel,
Right.
and it's a gorgeous hotel. I mean, it's like really beautiful hotel. And we were up on like the 8th or 9th floor. I don't remember, maybe higher. I could have been the 14th floor. I don't. We were so many damn hotels. But we had this like panoramic view of the city of Vancouver.
Wow.
It was dude, it was breathtaking. And so what would happen is the girls would go to bed and I'd leave the windows open. And the weird part was is they had these little tiny windows that would open at the bottom of the glass to let fresh air in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool. So I could get some noise, some street noise and stuff like that. And so I would sit there with the curtains open and I would watch this show in the chair in the corner of the room because it was a giant room. I was like, damn, wow, we really made out on this room.
I do the same thing when we go on vacation because everyone goes to sleep early and I just can't fall asleep at the same time. So I'll be on my phone watching YouTube or whatever.
The time zones were fucking me up and everything.
Yeah.
It was like 3 and 4 hours off and it was crazy. So I watched that. It was pretty cool. Why is she texting me during the show? Yeah. So that was kind of like the big series that I watched because it was only like 8 in the early parts of the trip. Then I watched so much other shit I don't remember. But
I watched. Okay, have you seen? I can't even remember the name of it. The movie with Jennifer Lawrence in it, where she's dating the guy that's a college student, and she is pretending to be his girlfriend for a car.
No.
For a car.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that movie's hilarious. Matter of fact,
What was that on?
It was in the movie theaters, but it's probably out now. Let me see. No Hard Feelings. So she's like a 30-year-old kind of
yeah,
just a wild child. She needs a new car. She's an Uber driver. There is a scene in there where she is on the beach, butt naked, fist fighting people naked.
Really?
No body double either. Because I looked up, I was like, surely she used the body double for this. No, it was really her naked, fist fighting on the beach. But anyways, the movie was actually hilarious. I thought it was really, really funny.
So did you did you go to the movies or something?
Yeah. Bailey and Matt wanted to go to the movies, and
nice.
That's the one they picked. And I was like, hey, yeah, let's see it.
And I really should have kept track of what I was watching. I know there was a movie we were supposed to be watching, and I watched it, but I don't remember what it was.
Dude, we were supposed to watch something. I forgot.
Yeah. Did you watch the Hemsworth movie that was on Netflix?
No, the Extraction 2?
Yeah.
No, I do want to. We should watch that for next week. Did you watch?
I watched it, but yeah, we can talk about it again. I'll watch it again. I was gonna watch it again because it was cool.
Yeah, that first one, I didn't expect nothing out of it, and I had like a really good time watching it.
The second one was better.
Really? Okay.
The second one was better in my mind. The second one was way better. So all right, we'll be watching Fubar. Didn't watch. We're still stuck at like episode 3 on Fubar because obviously we couldn't all watch it on the trip.
Right.
And there was, that is the one nice thing about like the Disney experience is that you have the Disney Channel. Like they have all these movies that you can watch. So like we watched Maleficent again, which Maleficent's a solid movie. I don't know if you've ever watched that one with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's cool. And then Haley watched the Emotion movie, with anger and.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I kind of want to see that.
Oh yeah, Mission Impossible. Yeah, it's on my list. Oh, you know what I did see though, is I saw the new Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, that's one I wanted to see.
That was on the cruise. So because it's a Disney property, they had it playing in the big, the big auditorium one night.
I wanted to go to the IMAX and see it, but
It would probably be really good on IMAX. I won't give it away. I won't say anything. We'll just leave that until you get a chance to see it.
I probably won't watch it till it comes out on video because apparently I didn't know this. I'm the only person that likes Indiana Jones in this house.
Oh, I've been down that road with you before.
I didn't know this. I thought everybody liked Indiana Jones.
No, nobody likes it. And I know this now too because I was the only one that went and watched it by myself. One of the couple that was with us, the husband came with me, but a kid was kicking his chair and he's like, "Bro, I gotta go." Like, okay. So I stayed and watched it, and I was like, I'm not gonna give it away. We'll just wait till it comes out on video, and then we can talk about it again because I know I have to watch it again because there was some scenes where I was like,
yeah,
only because time zones were all fucked up, and every morning I was getting up at like 7:00 in the morning, so and going to bed at like 1:00 at night because we rocked it until the wheels fell off. I'm not a fan. Tried watching them a while back. Yeah, okay. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I was like 8 years old when the first one came out, and it was the coolest thing in the world. So we all wanted to be archaeologists back then.
Yeah.
So it's like going to see the first Star Wars. So I watched that. I tried to watch a Little Mermaid, the live action Little Mermaid.
Did it suck? People were saying okay.
So I thought it sucked so bad. I got to the part where I was in the beginning, so I was in the first scene before she goes to Ursula, like when she saved Prince Eric and brought him onto the beach sand and all this other crap and the singing, and I'm like, get me the hell out of here. Yeah, it was like Indiana Jones, just worse.
Yeah.
So I left, and here's where the funny part comes. It's all funny. So I left that theater. The girls stayed and watched it because Haley was dying to see it. And so I left, and I went out to the outside, and they have, how cruise ships have the big theater on the smokestack out. So they were playing The Incredibles.
Oh, no. Nice.
Oh, fucking solid pull, bro. I just walked over, and I was like, oh, it's the fucking Incredibles. So I sat there, and I came in like right before the Edna Mole scene, So I was like, oh, this is the best part. It's the best part. I skipped all the big crap, all the crap in the beginning, and so I sat there and froze my ass off because it was cold as. Ugh,
I seen that. I seen you guys in jackets and stuff. And I was like, dude, I wonder how cold it is.
It was well, there was a glacier behind us, so
yeah,
a big block of ice, a big block of ice, and thousands of feet tall block of ice, so I watched The Incredibles, and I was like, oh, that was cool. And then another night, after I got done watching Indiana Jones, I came back to the room. It was like 11:00, and everyone's in bed. I'm like, it's 11:00. Why are you guys in bed? Like, there's shit to be doing. And they're like, you're on crack. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go walk around. So I walked back up, and the movie that was playing was Captain Marvel. And so me and this other guy, I was up on deck 10. Deck 9 is kind of where you sit and watch it, but you can eye level it at deck 10.
Yeah.
There's no chairs up there, and which is cool because if I sat down, I was just going to fall asleep. So me and this one other guy were watching Captain Marvel while the rest of the ship went to bed doing the responsible thing, and and there again came in right at the right time, missed all the bullshit in the beginning, and it was right when it started to get good, and I was like, damn, this is what I'm talking about. So I stayed there and watched that, and I was like, this is cool. Yeah. I didn't watch Frozen. They were playing Frozen. I was like, we need to leave. We need to leave.
Had enough Frozen.
But
cool. Sounds like in the carnival ones, I think that there might have been another movie theater, but the main one was just the one out on the deck.
So technically there's one dedicated movie theater. So we're on the Wish.
Right.
And there's one dedicated movie theater that is playing something all day long. So there's always a Disney show playing all day long. So and then you have the big performance theater, which is where they do all the live action, all the live, Broadway type stuff, but they have a screen there. So that's where they played Indiana Jones. But then if you missed it, so they played it twice back to back because you have an early and a late. And then if you missed it, you could go to the regular theater and they were playing it there. And they were playing Ant-Man and the Wasp, the latest one. That sucked.
Dude, there's so many of those superhero movies out like that I haven't seen. I was listening to another podcast that does movie reviews,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, 2 years ago I would have seen all these by now.
Yeah.
I'm just like so burnt out that I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
probably watch them when they're out on Disney.
Well, I know before we left, we watched Ant-Man and Quantumania or whatever the hell it was.
I heard it's terrible.
It was not the best movie ever. No. Yeah, Blue Beetle and the Flash. Yay. I was just like,
Flash too, or it did terribly. I heard it sucked monetarily, but it was okay as a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the other one was Elementals. They were playing Elementals all the time.
To see, yeah.
And so Haley watched that, and she was like, "No."
Really? Dang.
I was like, "Okay."
Usually,
it wasn't terrible, but just
DreamWorks or is that it? No, not
that's
DreamWorks.
Disney. Yeah,
Oh, it's Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, who does Toy Story? That's DreamWorks, right?
No, that's Disney.
But no. Who am I thinking of then? Monsters Inc. No, that's Disney.
That's Disney. Shrek is DreamWorks. Puss in Boots is DreamWorks.
So what's the other really high-end cartoon company that Disney bought?
Oh, the Pixar.
Pixar. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah. Those are all Pixar. Yes. Yeah. Also,
they were on it.
bombed, which it should, because Pixar was owned by Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
That's why his wife is now the single largest stockholder of Disney.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was at the time when Disney bought Pixar. It was a cash and stock, and when that went through, he became the largest single stockholder of Disney. And then when he died, she became the largest single stockholder of Disney stock. I'm sure she's probably moved through some of it by now, but
yeah,
I was reading an article today where someone was like, Apple should buy Disney, which I've been saying for years. I mean, why not? But I don't know.
Disney is such a monstrosity now that I don't think anybody should or would buy them.
Yeah, I listen. Iger is going. It needed to come back because the last guy was a doofus. I mean, he really was. He was not the guy.
Yeah.
With all the bullshit that's going on here in Florida between Disney and the mayor or the governor, because don't even get me started on that nonsense because we don't need to make this a political show. But yeah, so we'll see. I don't really care. But so you've been on plenty of cruises, right?
Just one.
You've only been on one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so we can play it. Disney is looking to sell pieces of ESPN. Yeah, why not? Because ESPN sucks.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't do anything for them. So, first cruise, you've been on one cruise, so we could compare notes. Obviously, Disney, and you went on Carnival.
Carnival, yeah.
Okay, so the biggest difference I could see between Carnival and Disney is Disney cares. So the Disney ships. This ship was 25 years old. Okay. And it looked like it just rolled off the production line. So, like, when we were walking around, there's always ships because we were in the yard there. So that's where the hotel was. So there was ships coming in and out. And I would look at the ships and because why not? They're fucking gigantic. And you're just amazed by how is this even a thing? And, you're looking at the rust and you're looking at the handrails where the wood is chipping and I hadn't seen a Disney ship yet because ours came in last, and they're like, see all this? You'll never see this on a Disney ship. And I'm like, really? And goddamn, yeah, really. Like they literally have guys painting that ship. It seems like 24 hours a day. Like all the handrails are pristine.
Yeah.
Like pristine. Like there was one day where the guy's painting the yellow stripe. He was painting like 30-foot section of the yellow stripe. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with the yellow stripe. He's like, no, I'm just, just repainting it, because it's not as shiny as it was. I'm like, okay, like, they're repainting the white. There was a couple spots where grout had come up.
Yeah.
And so they had regrouted. I mean, these guys were busy the whole time, and I'm just like, wow, okay, like, yeah. When you're sleeping, they're painting. They have a cleaner So anytime it comes into harbor, they immediately have a guy, because like it'll come in this side and then it'll come in this side. They have a guy that's out there with a freaking power washer and a crane power washing the side of the boat.
Damn.
And you're like, really? No, yeah, that's what they do. And then they have a window washer that's on a machine, because they have all those round windows on them.
Yeah.
And so when they're at sea, obviously they get salt water on them, and that they don't want that, because they want them to be, when you look through them, they want them to be clear. So they have a window washer that comes around and just like, on a machine. And I'm like, that is the weirdest thing ever,
Yeah.
But like, and so when we were in port, we're looking at all these other, I'm looking at there's nobody touching those ships. It's like, there's nothing going on, man. I'm like, oh, okay. Weird.
we did have cleaners doing our ship when we were at port, and our ship was, I don't know how old it was. I think it's 20 something years old. I think it was early aughts, but it was the Valor, and it was kind of a miss. Sunspots were really nice. The interior, the room was pretty nice, but there's some like older hallways and like where the interior rooms are. If you have to walk through that area, you could tell maybe it's a little bit more run down. But
dude, they literally have guys walking around with Dyson cordless vacuums in their hands 24/7. Like, how like in the parks they have guys with dustpans and
same thing.
No, these guys walk around with fucking Dyson vacuums, and they're literally just constantly vacuuming the carpet.
Hey, do they have ice cream machines everywhere on the Disney?
They had one ice cream machine in one section that you could do all day long.
Really? They had, like, in Carnival, there's like 4.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're like walking by, and obviously in winter, or it's cold where you're at, so it's probably not a big deal. But
no, these things were packed.
When you're going to the Caribbean, dude, you just walk by, like, I mean, I could go for it.
Go for ice cream.
A twist. A small twist,
A small twist, yeah. Oh, no, trust me, there was a line to get to the ice cream. It was freezing outside, and you're still eating ice cream. They did not care. So there's 3 major restaurants for nighttime dining. So breakfast. So they have a big buffet in the back of the boat, and to me, that was the best. Like you could go into one every morning. There was a dining room that was open if you wanted to have table service to get breakfast. You could do that, but the buffet was amazing, because every day they'd have something. Like they had churro waffles now, and it was little mini or the Mickey waffles done up in churro. And if you ever get the opportunity, I think you should do it, because they're so fucking good. I had one. Haley goes, dude, you can get the churro waffles. And I was like, all right, I'll go back and get one. So I went back, got one. I ate it. I was like, I don't have any room, but I'm going back to get another one. That was so good. She's like, grab me one. I'm like, okay.
So like on Carnival, you have there's 2 paid dining halls that are the nice ones. Then there's a main dining hall.
Right.
And the paid ones are not like you pay per plate. It's like you pay $40 and you can get whatever the best steak you have. But and they have the main dining, which is a formal, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 casual dining places.
Yeah.
2 of them are paid. The other ones you can just get whatever, and those also serve breakfast, and you can do breakfast and brunch in the main for the nicer stuff. And the buffet Carnival sucks.
Oh no,
it's just like a Golden Corral, but worse. Like it's not even as good as Golden Corral.
Yeah, I know. Like, so for lunch, all right. So for breakfast, you could either do. So I'll work through it real quick how it works. So, yes. Oh, dude, trust me. If this is, I don't know how I could go on any cruise if it's not like this, because this made so much sense to me. So you wake up in the morning, you go to the buffet, you get whatever you want on the buffet, okay? And it's there's 2 runs of the buffet, okay? Mm-hmm. It's the same shit on both sides, and it's repetitive. So it's like they have like a station that has like eggs, bacon, sausage, hash browns, so like you could just go there, get your basic. But then as you go down, they have all the specialty shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then they have eggs Benedict, or just fried eggs, or whatever the breakfast specialty of the day was. And then they have an omelet bar. So you just like, hey, I want an omelet. And they're like, where are you sitting? And they'll give you a number, and you'll go over there and sit down. So every morning I get up and I have the same breakfast, because I like eggs over so the whites are done, but the yellow's runny. So I'd grab those and some toast and real basic breakfast. But except for when they had churros, those were so. Then lunchtime, you had more choice. So for lunchtime, you could go to the buffet, and the buffet would always have the special of the day. Like one day they had Indian food, one day they had like curry. But then they have all the basics, like there's macaroni and cheese. Oh, and for like 4th of July, they had backyard day. So there was like, dude, there was these chunks of fried chicken that they did. Like they cut up a chicken, like duck style, like Chinese duck style, and deep fried it. And oh my God, I was like, oh, this is the best. But then they also had like, so they had regular French fries, they had steak fries, they had mashed potatoes, they had baked potatoes, and they had twice baked potatoes. I'm like, that's a lot of potato. And I sat down and I go, why do I have 5 different types of potato on my plate? Oops, my bad. But so you could do that, or you could go outside, and then there's 3 fast food restaurants outside. So then they had like the healthy place where you could get like your wraps, your sandwiches, or a custom bowl. They make you a bowl. Tell them what you want to put in the bowl. So chipotle. And then there was like the fast food where you get hot dogs, hamburgers, shawarma, basically gyros and chicken gyros, which was really cool. And they had kielbasa, and there was always something like special of the day there, like pulled pork or something like that. I would just walk on and be like, yo, man, give me a kielbasa, or not. I mean, a bratwurst. Give me a bratwurst.
Right.
And then around that was the all-you-can-eat ice cream. And then they had a pizza bar that was open all the time. So any time of the day, you could go get pizza. And it's just that's
the only one, and the carnival is the same way. That's the only one that's open 24 hours. It's a pizza place.
Well, nothing was open 24 hours, but you could get room service for no charge 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you can do a limited room service on Carnival, free. You can pay, but it's 24 hours as well.
Yeah. So there is one paid restaurant that's at the top that you could go to, but you have to make a reservation. It's always sold out, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then now for the 3 main restaurants, so this one had Triton's, Tiana's, and the Art of Animation. So, and you're on a schedule. So there's an early dining and a late dining.
Yeah.
And so when you go into the first, like we had Art of Animation first, which is really cool. Sorcerer Mickey came out and all that. And you have the menu and your waiters. And so you have a waiter and an assistant waiter, and they stay with you the whole trip. So they are with you.
That's how ours did it too. On the main dining you're talking about?
Yeah, so dinner.
You always had the same waiter.
Yeah.
Was it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or just dinner?
Just dinner, because that was the only one where you were at it. Like if you want this dinner, if you don't want to eat outside at one of the fast food restaurants, you have the dinner, and the dinner is the big thing where it's like, 3 or 4 course meal with dessert and all this other bullshit.
We did that every night.
Yeah. So you'd rotate from restaurants. So the first night you'd be assigned to this restaurant, then you'd be assigned to that restaurant, then you go back to this restaurant, and it was always the same waiter and the waiter and assistant waiter that would take care of you. So it was always the same time. So they would know your names, and they'd know like, oh, they'd have your drinks already on the table, and and then like any cruise, if you want 5 appetizers and 2, I want all this shit. You're just like, that's insanity. Just no. And they had a very bougie menu.
Yeah.
Which I did not like, because I was like, I don't want any of this shit. You put mushrooms on everything.
Staples too. Because that's how the carnival was. They had all the fancy stuff. Every night it was something different, but then they had staples like chicken, pork chop.
Yeah. So you could always get chicken if you wanted chicken. There was always a roasted chicken with mashed potatoes. But I got to be honest with you, I can't eat that shit for 6 fucking days. So, one day I was like, dude, this whole menu sucks. Okay. Everyone else was like, oh my God. I was the only one. Everyone else.
But it was all beef stuff, I'm assuming, or something that day.
No, they always had a variety, but it was just it just wasn't anything that looked appealing to me, because it was like mushroom, oh fuck, or some other weird fucking ingredient where you're just like, I'm not that guy. So I was like, all right, could I just get the mac and cheese and French fries from the kids menu?
Exactly.
They're just looking at me funny. I'm like, yeah, bring me that.
Yeah.
But it was it was the food. So I liked the cafe, the bar. Like breakfast and lunch to me were like, yes. I had Indian food one day, and it was like, that was where I wanted to be. I was like, I'm getting up every morning and we're going to get breakfast, because I might only eat breakfast and lunch.
That's cool that they're buffet, because the buffet and Carnival, like I said, it was just super plain. They did mix it up, but just neither one of us liked it, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So we went to the other places, like there was a Mexican place, a barbecue place, a burger
Right.
place, and then a seafood place and a sushi. But you had to pay for seafood and sushi. But
Right.
I did a few days just to mix it up. But we went to the other places, and then we did a lot of brunches at the main, and then every night we ate dinner at the main. Which Cassie, she's a wonderful woman, but she is so incredibly cheap. So she's living her best life. She not only is she cheap, she's very picky about what she eats.
Yeah.
So we go. She orders a dessert, and she's like, "I'm gonna take a chance on it. You know, I don't have to pay for it."
Yeah.
And she takes a bite of it, and the waiter's still there, and he can see her face, like she hates it. She cannot fake anything. Like you'll see.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Is something wrong with the dessert?" And she's like, "No, it's fine. I just don't like it." And he's like, "Well, would you like something else?" And this would just clicked in her head, like she could have another. And she's like, "What? Do I have to pay for it?" No. It's like, what do you want? I'll bring it out.
Oh, dude.
And that just clicked in her head, and it was like, oh, she was living her life from that point on. Like I could try all this shit, and if I don't like it, it don't matter.
Yeah. Oh, dude, trust me. I'm the only one going. Bring me. Like there was one day I was like, I want to try these 2 appetizers.
Yeah.
I didn't want whatever the second course was because it is all shit that I didn't want.
Right.
And so but these guys that I was with, all these guys are pros. Like they're all pros. They've all been like,
they know what they like on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like the friend we went. This is like her 12th cruise. Sue's been on 4. Haley's been on 3. The other dude's been on 2. I was the one guy here. So I didn't know shit. Well, I mean, they're telling me all this stuff. Like, get whatever you want. Get as many as you want. But they're over there like, fucking Haley'd have a list on her phone. Like, I want this one. I want this one. I want this one. And it's like lobster night. Oh my God, dude. I've never seen so much lobster eaten in my life. Like, dude, like they're like, bring me 3 lobsters to start out. I'm like,
dude, when we had lobster night, trust me, I was living my best life.
Oh yeah,
like, dude, I only ate 2 because I had like also a little fillet, but
no, there was no wasting space on.
I didn't even eat no sides, dude. I just ate 2 lobster tails and a little fillet. I was like,
and I think like the appetizer was like shrimp. So these guys are like, yeah, bring me that one. Bring me the tiger fried shrimp. I'm just like, so you have like this chicken Alfredo here on the menu, but it's like, hammered chicken and breaded Parmesan chicken with Alfredo noodles. But then you go sideways and it's got mushroom peppers and cheddar cheese. So can I just yeah. It was, and I was like, but that's what I'm talking about. It was a lot of that.
It was always something weird to make it bad. Like it sounds good and it's like cheddar cheese.
Yeah. So I said, can I just get the noodles and the chicken? And like, yeah, sure. It's like, okay. And that was like one of the best nights I had. I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Because it's just like butter noodles with Parmesan chicken. I was like, oh,
exactly.
It's so good. Viking European cruise today sounded amazing. Yeah. I mean, those Viking cruises look really good.
I didn't know that I would like cruising. I don't really get seasick, so I wasn't worried about that. But I just didn't know if I'd like it. But turns out I love it, man. I actually had a really good time cruising.
Yeah. So like, there again, trivia is a big thing. Like.
We've done trivia several times.
So
we done like a deal or no deal night, a bingo night, trivia, and they have trivia every day, and then of course all the shows or whatever.
Yeah, so we did a lot of trivia, a lot of drawing, a lot of learning how to draw the characters.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, obviously when we were off the boat, we were doing all kinds of crazy shit there, but and then at nighttime they have the 3 adult pubs, which is really cool. So like if you have kids, Disney cruises are amazing for the kids. Okay, because they have so for shorter kids, they have their whole area, like a whole fucking floor. It's insane. And they have a baby place, you have babies, and then they have a teen club up top in one of the smokestacks. So the smokestack's fake. So they turn that into a teen club. And so like your kids do not have to be anywhere near you at all.
Yeah.
So they also have an adult pool, an adult section. They literally have, it says no one,
Yeah.
like
Great.
kids can walk by because they have to get to the door maybe, but otherwise, and that's where the coffee shop is with all the cool little Starbucks free shit. Like, I was like, ooh, let me get some of those. Free Starbucks desserts, as I like to call them. But like, so it was like adult hot tub, adult pool, adult chairs. Everything was nice. An adult bar.
We lived in that area on the Carnival cruise.
Yeah, you'd have
There
to.
was so many damn kids, man. It was like,
Yeah, because everything past that was where all the nuts was. That's just they have the kiddie pool, then they have the kids, the family pool, and then the adult pool. Well, in the entertainment section, they have 3 adult bars. So at nighttime they become 18 only, so no kids allowed, or they'll run like trivia. Trivia's they'll literally say 18 plus.
Yeah.
So, but then they have a family area, which is like called the D Lounge or some shit like that for Disney Lounge. And so that was always going to be where like any, kids and families could play trivia and shit like that. So we stayed the fuck away from that.
Yeah.
And then they had Tiana's bar area, which there again, that could be for kids and families and stuff. So you always lost when you're at those because it was always be like, let's do something, it was like, let's talk about Frozen, 20 questions about Frozen. I'm like, we're going to lose. Like these kids can quote the movie from beginning. Yeah. So, but like all the other adult stuff was like, so Haley's like, okay, swingers club. There was no swingers club. There was a Cadillac club that was gorgeous. Like that was just amazing. Like it was all like Cadillac seats and fins on the wall and chrome.
Okay.
There was nothing that ever happened there that was any good though. It was like they had all the AA meetings in there, and then they had this piano guy that was in there that just played like piano music, but not cool piano music.
Really?
Yeah. And so that's where people, and that's where they did like all the cognac, all the wine and liquor tasting and mixology was all done in the Cadillac bar because it had doors that you could close.
Right.
So like you could sign up and learn how to make drinks and all this other shit. So that wasn't anything I wanted anything to do with. So it kind of sucked because that was the coolest looking. So
shit.
Yeah, with lame shit. And so then they had the nightclub that was usually open the latest, and then they had a British bar that was like just for it was a pub.
Right.
So like they'd have like the food buffet in there at nighttime and shit. And but so we go to the club. And like they had a couple nights they had dueling pianos that would come out and they would sing and do all this shit. It was really cool. And
yeah, that was usually fun.
Yeah, so they had a lot of fun stuff in there. So that usually went till about midnight. So every night I was up till whatever the last thing going on there was, because I was like, I'm gonna rock this till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
I paid for this shit. We're staying up. Yeah.
I paid for 24 hours. I'm going to be up 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I'd come back in the room and I'd be like, all right, what time are we getting up? 7 o'clock. Great. I'll be up at 6. Okay. The only thing that was funky on the whole cruise was our toilet broke.
Really?
And it took them 4 times to fix it. And on the 4th time, I went down to the counter because and Haley's like, don't be mean. I'm like, I'm not going to be mean. I paid a lot of money to be here, so I'm going to make that. I didn't say anything. I held up my fingers like this. I go, this is the 4th time I'm having to come down here to tell you my toilet doesn't work. Oh my gosh. And I said, and that was it. That was the only thing I said. After that, I was like, cool. I said, do me a favor, send up the guy that knows what he's doing. Okay, let's fix it this time. So that got us a free bag of popcorn and 3 Rice Krispie treats. I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Yeah, I don't drink.
Yeah.
The one cool thing about the Wish. So obviously Disney has 6 ships right now. They're building, or 5 ships. I think they have 5 ships, and they're all in pairs. So they're building a 3rd ship. I'm sorry, they're building a 6th ship, and they bought a 7th ship that's half built. But so these are the Wish is the oldest ship, and there's a sister ship to it. But this what?
No.
What?
Not the Wish.
What were we on?
Wonder.
We were on the Wonder. My bad. The Wish is the new one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the Wish is the new one. They're building a sister ship for that. So we were on the Wonder, which is the oldest ship. It's 25 years old, not past the day. It looks like it just rolled off the Italian assembly line, and it's a real unique looking ship. It looks like nothing else, but it's considerably smaller than like a Carnival,
right?
But they have a deck like deck 4, I think is you can go all the way around the ship.
That people run on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the running deck. Yeah.
Yeah, the running deck. And it was so cool because, and I walked it a bunch of times. I didn't run it because I didn't want to fall and kill myself. And I just felt like that. Yeah. So anyways, I walked it many, many miles. Get it right, Dad. I know. They're pros. They've been on all these ships.
Right.
They've been on them all. I haven't. But it was cool because you came through the anchor room in the front of the boat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was totally open, so you could see all that shit. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Hmm.
You know, it was so
cool.
neat. Yeah, it was really cool.
They have running decks on the Carnival, but it's not. It's just a straight up regular old running deck, basketball court, stuff like that.
That was also the deck where you could do shuffleboard, and they had the cool like 1950s chair, Adirondack style chairs that you'd see on like the pictures of the Titanic and shit. Yeah. You know, so, and that's where I would sit and read, you know, because it was like, let me rephrase it. That's where I would sit, read, and fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then Haley and I played shuffleboard because she was like, I want to play shuffleboard. So one day we finally played shuffleboard, and I kicked her ass. And that's, believe it or not, shuffleboard is harder than you think.
Yeah, it is. Shuffleboard is hard.
Yeah,
we went, and I was like, I thought I'd be better at this.
No.
But by the time we were done, I was a lot better than when I started.
Yeah, I had to practice for a little bit before she got there. I was like, hey, we're going to play shuffleboard. I was like trying to figure this shit out. And I was like, damn. Like, I didn't even make it to the other side. I'm like, fuck, this is hard. But
we got lucky. So when we went, there's a nightclub. We never went. There were several things. There was that mixology type thing on the Carnival.
Yeah.
The piano bar. That's where we spent every night because there was a guy named Gustavo that done the piano, and he took requests.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So, and this dude, freaking, he was way funnier than any comedian they had on there. And he's just roasting people right and left, you know. And I'm sitting right up there at the piano. Well, he can get like rated R very quickly. So he's always saying, he's saying like, okay, they tell me I have to be good till 10 p.m. So he just keeps saying that throughout the night. And it's like 10:01. He's like, okay, if you're under 18 years old, raise your hand. So there's like a few kids raise their hands, like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, it's grown up time now.
Yeah. Oh no, they had someone standing at the door. There was like, no, you guys can't come out. Yeah. So the you know, they have all the entertainment people, and a lot of them, they're like, there was one dude that was like the main host, that did a lot of the nighttime stuff in that bar. And, you know, he'd always be like, dude, Mickey might be asleep, but I can't say that. You know, that's like, you know, because they had this one game, and you had to write stuff down, and if you could get them a laugh or some shit like that. And when we were in one of the towns, they had a penis, a moose penis walking stick. It's so we wrote down moose penis walking stick, and he's up there, and he's like, it's a moose, and all of them go penis. He goes, that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you'd kick my ass at shuffleboard, dude. Trust me.
Definitely. You got experience, yeah.
This was the first and probably the last time I will play a shuffleboard.
Did I tell you my weird experience in that same piano bar?
Oh no, go ahead.
So I request a song, right? I can't even remember what the song is. And there's a group of cougars. Let's just call them cougars.
Yeah.
4 of them. They're on girls' vacation, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
It's very obvious. They're trash and all this stuff. So I request a song, and they're over there vibing. And I'm like, yeah. And one of the chicks goes to give me a high five. I was like, oh yeah, give her a high five. Locks them in and just holds my hand. And I'm like, Cassie's right there, and I'm looking at her like help me, or you know. And she just starts busting up laughing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So finally I get my hand free. The rest of the crew, this was kind of early. This is like one of the first nights. Yeah. Cassie's like, oh, there's your old girlfriend right there. The whole time I was like, God, I would have helped you, man.
Yeah.
You left me out. Hey, you left me out.
Oh yeah, they don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So it's like I was, I walked about 6+ miles every day on the ship, and went about because I never took the elevator. I'd always take the flight of stairs. I'm like, you know, I'm
It's
having,
quicker. I done the same thing because people are
yeah,
waiting on the elevator. Like hell no, I'm
yeah.
just
No, I can be
and they're
done.
short. They're like short flights too, so it's quick. You can just
Yeah. So I did about 50 flights of stairs a day,
yeah.
plus or minus. Because then I noticed my watch really wasn't keeping an accurate count. And I was like, oh, that sucks. So, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we done the same thing because we waited at the elevator. Matter the only time we waited for the elevator was like if we drank too much, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just wait.
Now, I will say for those that are drinkers, you can buy a drink package on the Disney cruise. So
Oh, really?
there's totally a drink package, but we don't drink, so there's no reason to buy that. But and every day they have an alcoholic drink of the day that is special just for that day, and they have a non-alcoholic drink that's special just for that day. And so I finally figured that out. And so when we were in the nightclub, I was like, "Hey, can I get the non-alcoholic drink in here?" And they're like, "Of course," because they had like ice cream in them.
Yeah.
It was like right up my alley. And they're like, "Yeah, of course. We yeah." So I was like, "Awesome!" So we had a waitress that always hooked us up every night, with like waters and stuff, and just hung out and chatted with us, and we learned more about the ship, which was cool. Um, so then I was like, oh, well, because I wanted to tip her because she was like spending a lot of time with us. And I was like, I want to, so then when I found out I could get the non-alcoholic drink of the day there, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So then, I could tip her and, make her, because I don't know what they get from the tips, but,
Yeah,
I was like,
we done. Yeah, we had the same waiter, so we tipped him, tipped our room person separately. Besides,
yeah,
they make you pay a tip
oh yeah.
for
Yeah,
every.
they have all that same cruise line shit where they give you all the little things and and then little envelopes and stuff like that. Like she wasn't in my thing, so at the end of I was tipping her. It was $5 drinks, and I was tipping her $10.
Yeah,
And so on the last night, I tipped her $10, and then I gave her a 20. Just slid it in there just in case. It's like I don't know if they're splitting it with the bartender or what they're doing, but
right.
they auto tip so they automatically apply 20% to everything you buy.
Yep.
So like if you don't want to write more, you don't have to. But I was like, fuck that. I mean, she's out here busting her ass, having a good time, talking to us, putting up with our dumb ass, cleaning up our shit, because we'd always make a mess. And so like, yeah, fuck that. She deserves it. She's cool. She's my new girl in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. The whole trip was just insane. There's no doubt. Like I've never walked or hiked or done this much on a trip. Like Maui was close. Like Maui we did a lot, but this trip was just insanity. Like when we got to Canada, so we spent like 2 or 3 days in Seattle. I don't remember what it was, but we did a ton of shit in Seattle. But you have to walk everywhere because we were downtown. So it was like in Seattle's like this, or it's 50 flights of stairs because they have these 50-foot seawalls that you have to get over to get somewhere. And it's like, oh my God. And so we were like, I didn't realize this was going to be the motif of the trip. It's like, we're just going to walk and go upstairs for the next 2 weeks. But we did get to go. If you're ever in Seattle, downtown Seattle, they have the underground. And it tells the history, like you get to go underground and see like the first floors of some of these buildings. And they tell the history of Seattle and why it's built the way it is and why they built the road up above the first floor. And then how it was really cool. So that was
I'm sure they smuggled alcohol during Prohibition.
Well, no, they didn't talk about anything like that. It was just one of those things where, like, they built the whole city stupid. Like, they had wood. Like, it was just one of those things where it was like poor city planning.
Yeah,
but
it's funny that you went to that because we just went. I had never been to Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Okay,
it's only a couple hours away. It's like probably one of the most well-known little towns in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it's the same way. Like they have the underground, so we got to go underground, do all that. But I guess Eureka Springs, they had a bunch of floods because they cut a bunch of trees down.
Yeah,
landslides in it would it be in. So it has more limestone per capita than any other place in the United States because it's all limestone walls.
Oh, nice.
Also makes it the most haunted city in America.
Oh,
So we done the ghost tour, went underground.
that sounds like fun.
And dude, the hills there, I did not think the hills were going to be so extreme there. But it was, dude, it was hot as hell too. I'm sweating. I'm like, this is awesome.
That was one nice thing. We had great weather throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I will say one of the coolest things, it's silly, but one of the coolest things I did see is in downtown Seattle, they have a Target and it's 3 stories and they have escalators for shopping carts. So you're shopping,
right?
And you go to the escalator and there's a separate one for your shopping cart. So you push your shopping cart in and it takes your shopping cart down perfectly level like this. Haley's like, oh my God. She was so excited about that. And we had to run over there and wait until someone put their cart in to bring it down. It was really weird. And then, and it's like the weirdest Target you've ever seen because it's like an old building that they just converted into a Target. So like, ceilings are low or high or just it was so strange. It was just crazy. And then we went to the gum wall because there's a gum wall there, which is the most disgusting thing on the face of the earth. Like you're just like, please don't bump the walls. It was just insanity. She's so excited. She's like, I want to go to the gum wall. And we're like, where the fuck is it? We're like, I don't know. We asked someone. They're like, it's right there. And we're like, oh, well, we were right here. Let's go.
And then she pushes you into it.
Oh no, God no!
That would be horrifying.
Oh, it was beyond horrifying. So it's like if you ever go to Seattle, there's the market, the big market where they throw the fish, and that's so exciting. That's like right underneath the sign. Well, there's 2 roads. One takes you like there's 2 50-foot roads. If you go straight, you hit the market. If you go down, there's the gum wall. And I was like, oh, it's like, and I was kind of like, shit. We were just because Fernando and I were there last year, the year before last. And it was like, dude, we were right here. We didn't know. It was right there. Fuck. And like where Fernando and I went, like we saw this other shit and it was like, oh, that's cool. And it turned out that's where our hotel was that we went this time. I was like, dude, I've done all this. This is so neat. I know where I'm at. Which is always weird, like when it's like, I've been here before. I know what I'm doing.
That's like the weird thing. Like we go to, and we haven't been as much, but we go to the same spot in Florida for vacation on the Gulf Coast. And it's like, since we go there every time, it's almost like we live there.
Yeah.
Because we know where to go to get what we need to get. We know how the traffic is and all that. And it's just weird that we don't actually live there. But we've been there so much that we know it. So it's strange.
Yeah. It is because it's like, it's this whole other part of the world.
Yeah.
That it's like you don't spend that much time there, but you've spent enough time there to where you know how to get around.
Yeah.
And that's always strange. And it's like Seattle for like I've been there now 3 times. And it's like that was never even on a list of places I'd ever go.
Yeah.
And like I've been there 3 times now. I've been to the Space Needle. I've been in the Space Needle twice, and I've been at the base of it once. Because like when Fernando and I went, we didn't go up in it because it was packed. But this time we had tickets and we went. But it was funny because we needed to get to this restaurant, and they're like, it's downtown, and the Space Needle is not really. It's kind of off of downtown.
Yeah.
So it's like a long walk if you need to get back. And I go, well, where's it at? And they're like, oh, it's by the market. And I go, let's just take the tram. Because they have a tram. Like, hey, we also went on a tram. And they're like, why? I said, because it lets off right in the mall. There's probably where your food is. And they're like, really? It's like, yeah. So it didn't, but it was close enough. It was like a 2-minute walk around the corner. And it was like, boom, we're here. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, damn. Yeah.
Thank audio control.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I had a $20 crab sandwich thingy that I was like, wow, it was like $25.
Was it good though?
No, it was $25.
Really?
I couldn't get past $25.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I just paid $25 for a crab sandwich that's literally this big.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus
that's kind of
Christ.
high. When we went to New York, I paid $25 for pastrami.
Yeah.
When I went in there, I was like, we stood in line, and then we went in. I was like, it's $24 for a pastrami. Now it's a giant pastrami sandwich.
Yeah, this ain't a giant. This was like, this was not. And I got, and like, it was enormous. It was like 6 inches long and cut into 2 3-inch pieces. And that was a full. And so half of it was for Sue, and the other half was for me. And I'm like at 3 bites, it was gone. I was like, damn.
Is there fries with this or?
They were okay. So that's the other thing I learned is that like a lot of people don't know how to make French fries. Like I really got to the point, like I love French fries, but after this trip, I don't love French fries.
Did they
Like,
go? Would they just try to go too fancy with them?
I don't know. It was just there were so many sucky French fries on this trip. Like the only French fries that were any good was on the ship. They had steak fries,
Yeah.
and those were amazing. Like those.
Wait,
were,
like on a scale from, do you like Five Guys French fries?
no.
All right, so we'll use that as the bottom.
Yeah.
What do you think about McDonald's French fries?
They're kind of in the middle.
In the middle. So what's the best French fry then?
So the best type of French fry to me is a crinkle cut French fry. Like if you give me a nice crinkle cut fry, like we have a place here that does crinkle cut fries.
Yeah.
But also is like a Hooters, like the curly fries. But those aren't really French fries. Those are like specialty fries for me. Like Arby's makes those too.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like once a year, I'll go get like Arby's French fries with cheddar sauce. But I don't really. To me, those aren't really French fries though.
Yeah, it's not a standard. It's a special type.
But like I like
crinkle cut around here would be Brahms, which are really good French fries.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's something about a crinkle cut fry that's just way better. But the steak fry, like
sauce.
What's that? Yeah,
it holds whatever sauce you're dipping in it.
Yeah. But steak fries are good too. So like, what's the other Red Robin? Like the Red Robin fries are pretty good.
Yeah. My favorite. I like the Five Guys style fries, the fresh cut. Just the fresh cut punch ones. But we have a spot here.
Yeah,
it's a local spot that has great fries, and they're that style though.
I used to like those, but I think Five Guys taste like peanuts.
It's a strong because they use peanut oil. So
yeah, which I'm not digging.
The one thing I like about old McDonald's use beef tallow, but now they put like beef flavoring in their oil, which I think is still better than the peanut oil.
I would, if I had a choice, I'd rather have Wendy's fries than McDonald's fries.
And Wendy's are a fresh cut.
Yeah, but they do a better job at it because they shave off a lot of the brown shit.
Can we agree that like Burger King fries are terrible though?
Yes, we can agree. Burger King makes the worst fries. There's no.
I like Wendy's fries. I probably like McDonald's fries a little bit better than Wendy's, but I think that's just the beef thing. Like I like the beef a little bit.
I like the thicker French fry too. I like the Wendy's because it's a little thicker and it has more potato to it. But and then Chick-fil-A. There again, I feel that's more of a specialty French fry that kind of falls into that whole. But those things that's in a whole nother. The waffle fry is a whole nother fry.
And I do on their own. I love Chick-fil-A fries.
Yeah. Oh no, those. But there again, that's just
it's something different because sometimes you get the wedge piece. It's like a lot of potato in it.
Yeah.
Oh, those are like little hidden gems in that box.
Yes. Yeah. They hate. See, everyone here hates those. So I was
really.
Oh yeah, they all like, oh here.
I'm like, give me all those. I'll give you all the regular ones.
Yeah. No, I won't do that, but I will gladly take your other.
What do you dip them in then? Wait.
So there again, that's the only thing on the planet ketchup was made for.
Yeah. See, I will do ketchup on there, but I do like Chick-fil-A sauce, man.
If we're talking Chick-fil-A, then I run the gamut of sauces. So I will have, I'll have Polynesian sauce, I'll have buffalo sauce,
so a little bit of each.
I'll have ketchup, and I'll mix it up a little bit. But French fries in general, like I don't like ranch. I don't do ranch on my fries anymore because that's. But the only thing in my mind that ketchup was made for is French fries.
Yeah, so, I'm so weird. I will almost always just eat ranch with French fries.
Yeah,
or ketchup, except for like Five Guys, and it depends on the ranch too. Like if it's a house-made ranch at a spot I know, yes. If it's like even hidden
like Hooters, I gotta have ranch or blue cheese because it just works better.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think I do like theirs, but like regular, like Hidden Valley Ranch, I really don't care for that with fries.
No, you got to get the bougie ranch.
Yeah, like the homemade. But like Five Guys with Heinz ketchup, that's a ticket.
The other thing is I like on French fries is tartar sauce.
Like tartar sauce is good on anything almost.
Tartar sauce is pretty good if it's a good tartar sauce. Like we got Frenchie's here, the big seafood place, their tartar sauce sucks because they put like coconut milk or something in it. It's got a sweet shitty taste to it.
I had some that someone put carrots in. I was like, what?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Bad, but
like a hush puppy and tartar sauce. Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone does freak out when they see my shoes. There's 100%. What's wrong, Haley?
Nothing.
Okay.
She heard French fry talk.
She heard French. Yeah, she didn't eat French fries. So.
I heard blue cheese.
Yeah.
You never eat blue cheese.
On my French fries at Hooters, if they accidentally bring us one, I will use it.
Eat some food, damn it.
Okay, so moving on.
You're too...
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, go away. I got to wrap up the show.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks. Should have had her on for cruise talk. She should have been into that. All right. So next week we'll watch Extraction 2.
Yep.
Which is cool. That's a solid pull. I watched a ton of other shit that I don't remember. Nothing was like, oh my god. I did watch the most latest Tom Segura stand up on Netflix.
Yeah.
Tom Segura fan. Fucking hilarious.
I watched The Witcher, but
I haven't watched that.
It's only the first half of it, and they got me so good. It was just like the way they ended. I was like, I hate you.
I haven't watched any of it because I didn't want to watch it on this.
Yeah.
So I was like,
also Warrior.
Dude.
Yeah. I watched the first episode. Like Cassie, I was telling her like, "Hey, Warrior's out." She's like, "Oh," and we started. Oh, this is the Warrior. Oh, I like it. I was like, "Yeah, this is the Warrior." So that's the next one. I'm gonna finish it, but it's starting off good.
Is the whole series out, or is it just like one episode at a time?
I don't know. I think it has multiple episodes when I check. So I don't know if they're doing it week by week or what, but.
I have not seen The Machine yet, but it's on my list of things to watch. So yeah, that's I want to see that. But that's it. That's all we got for you guys. So thanks for trucking along with us on this show. It's been fun. Next week we'll talk about some Hemsworth sex appeal, sexy, shoot him up, kill him dead, senseless violence. Oh,
the best kind of violence.
Best kind of violence. But that's all we got for you today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See ya.